Recording in progress. Okay, I'm going to admit some people. So as we're doing this, I'm going to run our upbeat, full of joyful music and interesting stuff for your benefit. So here we go. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to go to Google Chrome. I'm going to share sound, optimize for video, hit share, and good. I know they can see it. I'm glad of that. Here we grow.
Okay, so here's what we got. Okay, so I got it. All right. Oops.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good looking people. Remember, you're good looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. Is that right, Jack?
That's correct, Barry.
So, welcome everybody. It is a delight and an honor to have you here because you're about to invest your most valuable asset, which is your time. And therefore, you're doing it because you care the most in the entire world about one person. And you know who that is, Bonnie? You. You. And that's great because when you become the best you, you make the world a better
Oh,
place.
got it.
You
Okay.
build. Okay, mute yourself, everybody, until I unmute you. Go on mute, people. Hello. Thank you. Because we're doing it not for me, but for everybody else. We're here to serve. Okay, so you joined because you care the most in the whole world about you. And that's great because what we're going to do today, we're going to find things that are going to make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? Everybody came here because it's called Winning Wednesdays. And as Jack knows, because he comes regularly, on Winning Wednesdays, you actually learn how to win. And winning is a wonderful part of life. And again, will make you happier. Who doesn't want that? Healthier and wealthier. Everybody wants that. Whether you're in business and you're selling something, offering your product or services, or you're working with a nonprofit, you are a nonprofit, etc., you will learn wonderful tools to be able to enhance that which you do. So we're going to jump right in and discuss one of the most fundamental aspects of living well, and that is friendship. Be a good friend. Now, people ask me sometimes when I'm doing in person webinars and such like that, and I'll introduce myself in just a moment. My name is Barry Shore. I am the ambassador of joy. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, James and Marte? Thank you. I didn't say the ambassador of joy. I said the ambassador of joy, because that's what we do here. Now, I'm speaking, let's say, in person. Recently, I did a gig. We had 1,127 people in the theater. It was great. Lots of energy, lots of hugging, and such. And I was telling the story about Barry Shore and the ability to learn how to utilize and leverage and internalize the processes that we talk about. And people sometimes ask me, well, yeah, but how does that help me in my business? How am I going to make more money? So let's quiet that voice for the moment, just still, because the answer is you will. When you learn to utilize the tools and the tips that we work with on Winning Wednesdays, and it's a series we've been doing, I think now this is our fourth, and there are 11 strategies altogether, and they're in a book called The Joy of Living. You deserve it. 11 strategies for learning how to live in joy daily, no matter the circumstances. So before we begin, we like to have a lot of fun with people, because if you can't have fun, you're not going to be able to make more money. You all hear that? Fun equals more money. So I want you to go to the chat and put in where you physically are. I don't mean in your living room and such. What city and state do you live in? Denise, put that in there, please. Cynthia? Roscoe?
Yeah, I come.
RJ, come on, put in the chat.
Where the chat
Put
at?
in the chat where you are from. And
That's your screen.
we'll have
This
a lot
one?
of fun. Clinton, Maryland,
put the
Sandusky,
chat.
Ohio. Actually, I like Sandusky.
Over here.
iPhone is at the Jersey Shore. We actually might get a name for the iPhone one day from
Chat
Jersey.
reviews.
Now,
Previews.
Cynthia is from a place called Oconomowoc. How do you like that one, Cynthia? Oconomowoc. Was I close? Was I good? Oconomowoc in Wisconsin. Jack is from Wichita, Kansas. Cynthia says, very good, with an exclamation mark. It sounds like a good name, old Indian name. Chatham, New York. I like Chatham. That's a nice place. Denise, Las Vegas, baby, home of the Super Bowl in just a few days. Denise, I'm in Henderson. I don't know if you know that. Now you know. You knew that, Denise, didn't you? That's why you came, because I want to see Barry Shore at least on a Zoom call. And then hopefully I'll meet him in person one day. Robert Roscoe is in East Point, Michigan. Yes. Okay. We have more people. Come on. Where are you from? It's always good to know where people are. Denise, I don't know that. Thanks for letting me know. You're welcome, Denise. And let's see. Okay, a couple more people. Where are you from? Just because we want to make sure that we have some camaraderie here. This is really important. This is not, well, I'll tell you what it's not. This is not a webinar, Sage from the stage. You all know what Sage from the stage is? Somebody's up there and professorially comes down to the mountain from the mountain and gives you over information. There'll be a lot of great information. There'll even be some inspiration. But really, this is about the T word. The T word stands for transformation. You want to have a transformative experience today. My grandmas used to live in East Point, Michigan, back when it was called East Detroit. Oh, that's right, Denise. Thank you. Greg is in Columbus, Ohio. What a great town, Columbus, Ohio. Okay, so let's understand that we're here for transformation. This is an experience. So I'm going to urge you to do something that is against your nature, and especially you, Marte. Why am I picking on you? Because what I'm going to tell you is going to be for your benefit. I urge you to consider, do not take notes. Wait a minute, I have to. I've been conditioned to do that. I take notes. Don't you know that? So I'm going to share with you something that I learned from a man named Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is the teacher of Tony Robbins. I trust most people have heard of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins used to talk about this also. So I was in a small class with Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, 40 plus years ago. I'm older than most of you here, all of you. My point is that, and that small group, Jim Rohn said, this is an experience. Don't take notes, because as you're writing and taking notes and thinking, we're already past that. So what you want to do is experience this. Now, if you want to write down a word or a phrase because you want to ask a question later, well, that's great. But don't take notes, because one of the reasons what are we doing here? Recording this is so you have the opportunity to do what most people don't do, but winners do. You hear this? I'm giving you all an insight to what a winner does. Winners will use the recording and go back and listen. So the first time you hear this is an experience. What did Barry say? Transformation about happy, healthy, wealthy, and tools and living and joy daily. Go back and you listen, and it comes more concrete. Then you can take notes because you're in charge of the time. And then if you're really clever and smart and you want to win, you'll go back and listen a third time, because then you'll be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage it. Okay, now that is for you. Do with it as you wish. I just urge you to consider, avoid taking notes, put down a key phrase or a word, and then when we have questions, you'll ask, and then it'll be that much more beneficial, not just to you, but to others. You all hear that? That's called the O word. Everybody know what the O word is? Others. It's also optimistic. Others. Optimistic. Hear me? Opportunity. Think of the O word in positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant ways. Okay, we're going to delve deeply into one of the most foundational aspects of building a successful business, a successful life, certainly a successful nonprofit, raising money, interacting with people. And that is the word friend. How many people here know how to spell friend? If you know how to, come on, you can raise your hands. Okay, if you know how to spell the word friend, I want you to put in the chat how you spell the word friend. Come on, put in the word chat, how do you spell friend? Let's see. Okay, I see F-R-I-E-N-D. Okay, keep going. That's only two people. Only two people know how to spell it? Hello, everybody. Oh, that was very good, iPhone. That was, okay, we was there. Come on, how do you spell friend? Everybody knows how to spell the word, correct? So we're going to learn about being one, what that means for your life, how that helps you. And everybody says, well, I know all that already. Well, yes and no. That's why you're here, right? If you can find one small kernel, one small gem, and use that to create a shift in your current situation, it will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. By the way, my latest book I just published at the end of 2023, and my books are available, only one, of course, no, of course, but to you for no cost. The Joy of Living, you deserve it. Pocket full of acronyms, which is great, or O Shift, that's what it's called. And we use Scrabble tiles for O Shift, and the F is just below the line. Because in working with people for more than 4 decades, I can tell you, the first time I started working with people, they drop the F in shift, and the other stuff happens, right? Everybody knows about that. So I'm going to put here in the chat very quickly for your benefit. Everybody can go to barryshore.com/ebook and avail yourself of the opportunity. And you can order one of these ebooks, which sell for $14.95. They're yours at no cost. Okay, that's a gift. GIFT stands for Godly Inspiration, Facilitating Transformation. So buckle up, everybody. Get yourself some popcorn, because we're going to do a wonderful plus minus 3-minute video. Your name is Allie on the iPhone. Laugh out loud. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do a 3-minute video on be a good friend. Everybody have your popcorn ready? You buckled up? You got a smile on your face? Hello? Hello? Everybody ready? Okay. Okay, here we go. Mr. Shore, go to Google Chrome, share. Uh-oh, we want to escape from that. And go up here to, ta-da! Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good good looking people. And remember, you're good looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. 11 strategies for learning to live in joy daily. Be a good friend. Is there anything better in the world than a good friend? Whether you are one or you have one. And in some cases, God willing, both. A friend is someone that you can depend upon. A friend is someone who's reliable. Isn't that right? Look at the word friend and understand something. If you were to move the R out of friend, what do you have? A fiend. You don't want to be a fiend, and you don't want anybody to be a fiend to you. So the R is in there to remind you to be reliable. The D at the end of the word, or friend, allows you to become a doctor. What's a doctor? Doctor is a DR, isn't it? That's the abbreviation for a doctor. Dependable and reliable. That's what a friend is. When I was growing up, one of my dearest friends' father taught us the following. If you can count your friends on your thumbs, you're very fortunate. A goal in life? Be a thumb. Be a good friend. The only time you should ever look down on anybody is when you're helping them up. Never look down on anybody. Be a friend. Be a dear friend to at least 2 people. And you can be dependable, reliable, never be a fiend. And when you do that, you go mad. You make a difference in the world. Our prayer for you is to go forth, live the blessing, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Bye now. Okay, let's have a round of applause, please. Hello, round of applause. Okay, first of all, everybody could hear that, correct? I mean, hear it. You could hear the sound and you heard it inside. Am I correct? Okay, who would like to volunteer? I have a question. Who wants to volunteer? Hello, thank you, Denise. Okay, Denise?
Yes.
Was there something that you learned from that short video that you didn't know before?
Well, I like your energy and enthusiasm.
Thank you.
I think being reliable is, you said being reliable is part of being a friend, and I would agree with that. I think there's more to it than that. I set a goal to create more friendships in my life, which is why I decided to join this. And as you get older, it's a little tough. People kind of get stuck in their everything, you know? And
Actually, we do know. Very good.
yeah, I mean, I connected with a gal, and I said, you know what? I said, let's get together sometime. I said, um, I have a goal to create more friendships. She goes, me too. So a few days later, after the holidays were over with, I texted her and said, hey, let's get together. It took 3 texts over a course of a week for her to reply, and it took another couple weeks for us to actually get together, because she's so caught up in everything that she's doing, you know. So
Okay, so
anyway,
this
it's
is okay. So
challenging as you
remember,
get older.
older, and I'm hoping everybody understands this. Older equals wiser. Older equals wiser. And wiser means the best use of your time. So you want to be both reliable and dependable. That's what a friend is, or else you end up being a fiend. One of
Barry,
the most important aspects that you mentioned here, Denise, I want to delve a little bit deeper here because it's so important, is that
Ron,
life.
looks like
Good luck.
Roscoe wanted to ask a question or say
Okay,
something.
Roscoe will have a question in just a moment. Life depends upon this T word. The T word here is trust. Trust. Everybody agree with that? You all understand that, right? Trust has to do with transformation. So I'm going to mention to you, Denise, it was wonderful. You said 3 texts to get a response and then 3 weeks. That's great. And sometimes you can say, okay, that's wonderful. Now we know who she is and move on. In other words, to create a circle of a growing circle of friends is wonderful because part of the genius of life is when you can have 2, you got thumbs, now you're really cooking because those thumbs become your anchors. And from there, your foundations, you can build anything, because you have 2 and you're the third. Guess what that is? That's the most stable element in the entire world. Isn't that right, Jack? Called a triangle. The triangle, that's the most stable element. You can build anything with that. So I wanted to make sure everybody understood from the video the idea of friend, reliable, dependable. Think of yourself as a doctor, a DR. You're a doctor, dependable, reliable, and that certainly speaks to married couples. I do an entire webinar. It's been voted one of the best in the entire internet on marriage, called Marriage with Joy. And that's part and parcel of the integration in a marriage between 2 people of trust. So I want to make mention of something else. And I think Denise will use this as an example because you were willing to begin and open this up. And that is 2 aspects to friendship. And again, remember these are foundational aspects of building business. I want everybody to understand this is all for you to help you in your business, whether your business is commercial, in other words, you're selling B2B, B2C, or you're building a nonprofit and you're raising money for a cause. They're all the same. They're all built on business. Business is built on trust. Everybody understands that, correct? People do business with people that they trust. You have to know somebody, potentially get interested, like somebody, and then you can trust. You can't go from, gee, Barry Shore, he's great and wonderful, I trust him. Hey, it doesn't work that way. That's not life. You can say, wow, he's interesting, I'd like to learn more, and you begin to like and trust. And Jack, you've gotten to that point, right? Because it takes time. That's part of the genius of life. It's a process, not an event. So when you enjoy that, guess what happens for your business? It improves. You're happier, you're healthier, and you're wealthier. Again, tell me if somebody on this call who doesn't want that. I mean, that's why you're here. So now, if you want to be a friend, and Denise mentioned this, then the next part of that, the natural corollary, Denise, you said it. If you want to be a friend, is to acquire a friend. Now, notice that I said acquire, because what does acquisition really mean? Acquisition means using money. Hello, everybody hear that? Acquire a friend means money. Now, money is really nothing more than currency. I'm going to use a higher level word. Don't think money of dollars and cents. Think of it even more. Think of it as currency. What is your most valuable asset? Hello, everybody. What's your most valuable asset? Ready? Your time. If you want to acquire a friend, which is what you're doing, Denise, you are willing to invest your most valuable asset, your greatest currency, called your time. Isn't that right, Denise? Isn't that what and I think Denise is speaking for many people here. You are willing to utilize your time to meet another being and to see if there's a potential for a relationship, right? And we're of age that when I say relationship, we all know that it's not about lust. Sexual encounters are wonderful things, but that also, if you really want to live a life of joy and happiness and peace and love, that's called intimacy. That takes time. That's real trust. So you're reaching out. You want to be a friend. You want to acquire a friend. And acquisition means using currency. Yes, it could be money also. You know what I mean? You might buy lunch. Well, the other person might buy lunch. That's an acquisition, right? Because it creates a relationship. So the ability to be a friend now urges you to acquire a friend. And by the way, when you said, Denise, when you get older, it's more important. Yes, I work with a lot of 24-year-olds, and they tell me the same thing. So it's not, doesn't matter if you're 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 74, 84, 94. It's about being a friend and acquiring a friend. Now, when you're 94, acquiring a friend's a little more difficult because time is short. And I say that, by the way, I'm going to tell you a great story about one of my dearest friends in just a moment. I'm going to introduce something that I didn't do in the video because we do 3 levels of those videos. What you saw was the introductory level. That's a 3-minute video. The next level is 20 minutes. I speak 20 minutes about being a friend. And the third level is 60 minutes. And I cover almost all the things that you mentioned, Denise. So let me tell you a quick story about a dear friend who I met when she was 95. Did I get your interest, everybody? She was 95 when I met her. Her name is Aida, or her name was Aida. I met her at 95. Let me tell you a quick story about Barry Shore, and I think it will help you to understand why this particular group is called Einstein Cares Community Group. Einstein Cares, I'm going to put it in the chat here because something that everybody on this call, EinsteinCares.com, I urge everybody, go to EinsteinCares.com and sign up for early access. We're going to be launching the platform in a few weeks, and you want to have early access. Let me tell you what the mission of Einstein Cares is. Everybody ready? The mission of Einstein Cares is to give $1 billion to charity without costing any giver a penny. What was that, Barry Shore? You're going to give $1 billion to charity, doesn't cost any giver a penny? How do you do that? Well, I'll tell you how quickly, and then I'll tell you the story. We partner with businesses that allocate a percentage to us for sending them customers. Hello. Everybody's in business knows there's only two, and business has been around since the beginning of time. There's only 2 things every business needs and wants. You want to keep your existing customers, and you want to acquire new ones, right? It's called acquisition and retention. Okay. So we partner with businesses. Give an example, restaurant. Restaurant says, I'll give you 6% sending for customers to come to me. Say, okay, we sign them up on Einstein Cares, and they're listed on the site, and they go to the restaurant. And when you're on Einstein Cares, you register your existing credit card, not new one. You choose the charity you want to support, your choice, not ours. And you say, you go to this restaurant, walk in, and you come out, and the bill was $222.38. Okay. And the restaurant is willing to give 2% to you and 2% to your charity. Swipe your card, you walk out. Guess what, Denise? You just earned $4.44 for you, and you just gave $4.44 to the charity of your choice. How do you feel? Bonnie, did you hear this? How do you feel from that? You just made money, and you just gave money. Can you unmute for a moment? Yes.
That's great. It's great.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? Would you tell anybody about that restaurant? Say, I come here because they give me money for coming. And you say,
Of course.
Of course. And you say, but the way you do is you sign up for EinsteinCares.com. Not only do they give me money, I'm giving money to help feed hungry children. I mean, whatever your charity is. That's what Einstein Cares is. Let me tell you a quick story about Barry Shore and why we began this. So imagine, if you can, me standing up in the morning, completely hearty and healthy, able to leave tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed from the neck down. I became what's called a quadriplegic overnight. It was not from an automobile accident. It was not a spinal injury. It was a rare disease that took over my body, which I never heard of the day before. And I was a quadriplegic. Nothing in the body moved. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was 2 years in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. I can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. And I've helped 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. All because of one word, by the way. And the word is smile. Smile, because SMILE is an acronym that stands for Seeing Miracles in Life Every Day. That's me. And because of this, I have a need to give, a need that drives me. And I've been successful in business, built 2 companies, public exits. I know something about business. So we built this platform which earns people money, allows people to give money at no cost. We're going to raise $1 billion to do and give to charity. Everybody's going to have fun. By the way, most people here, I hope, everybody here has ever heard of the Ice Bucket Challenge. Joyce, you ever hear of the Ice Bucket Challenge? Everybody heard of it? Remember that 10 years ago, 2014? People were putting ice buckets of water over their heads, right? 17 million people around the world did it. And they raised $137 million. Why? Because it was fun. And I'm giving to something. I call it philanthrotainment. You hear that? Philanthropy and entertainment coming together. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you a question. You can answer by nodding your head or just putting in the chat or saying, just raise your hand. What is more fun than shopping? Hello? It's entertaining. That's wonderful. And if you can make money and give money by shopping, isn't that one of the most wonderful things in the world? Not much. I enjoy shopping. Thank you, Denise. And imagine you shop on Amazon, you go food shopping, you go to wherever it is, online, offline. Yes, it's fun. It's called philanthrotainment. That's what Einstein Cares is. It's a revelation. It's a evolution in the world. We're the only site in the entire internet in North America that enables people to earn money and give money at the same time. Swipe of a credit card doesn't cost anything. Hello? That's called being a good friend. I care about people. I have a legacy. I'm 75. You didn't notice that I'm older than most people here. I have a need to do this. And by the way, you see my arms moving around and say, Barry, you're not a quad anymore. You're right. I can't get up from this chair, so I'm still paralyzed from the waist down. Who cares? Look what we can do, right? So again, being a good friend. Okay, one more story, then I'll get to why I mentioned about this. My good friend Aida. So I learned because of what we call aquatic therapy. That's how they got me able to move my arms and such like that. Put me in the pool, move me around. For years I did that. And then one day I put my arms over my head. I was doing a backstroke. So I won't go into all the details, but suffice it to say, I learned how to swim. And I now swim 2 miles a day, 6 days a week. And I've been doing it for more than 14 years. I have 9,462 miles under my belt. And my goal is to swim around the world. I'm a third of the way around the world already. Don't ever say you can't do something. You never know. I wasn't a swimmer before, and now I am. But here's the point. I'm in the pool, and you go to aquatic aerobics. Hello, Denise, I love you. That's where you meet friends, by the way. Do meet friends and things that you already do. Okay, so I'm there, and my friend, Aida, 95 at the time, she's walking along in the same lane I'm in. It's the lane for people that have issues, they call it. Some people call it handicaps, we don't. And so she's holding the lane line, she's walking along. And of course we get to talking after a few times together. And she says to me, Barry, I want to be like you. There's energy and such. And I said to her, Aida, you're so wonderful. You don't want to be like me, you want to be like you. Be the best you. And she laughs and we're talking. So because of Aida, I built the 11 strategies for learning how to live in joy daily. Because of my friend, Aida. So let me tell you an amazing story. I got to sing Happy Birthday. I have a special Happy Birthday song. I got to sing Happy Birthday to Aida every year for the next 11 years. On her 106th birthday, I sang happy birthday to Aida. And she was fully cognizant, fully aware. She said, I love you, Barry. What do you think of that, kids? Is that not a story of friendship? That is the ability to find a new friend, Denise. And
Or
if
like the Bahamas.
we would see each other sometimes twice a week at the pool. Just that's the genius of life. That's the genius of being a good friend. So I'm going to give you a fundamental about being a good friend, and then I'm going to open up to questions. Okay, if you want to, I urge you not to take notes, but if you have to write down a couple of words, these are the words you want to do. Oh, yes, iPhone 2, I need to find something. All I do is work. Yes, we'll talk about that. That's a great point and a great question. Ready? You want to learn to be a friend? You want to acquire a friend? These are words. You can put them in capital letters. 2 words. Never gossip. Never gossip. I'm going to say it one more time. Never gossip. I'm asking a question of everybody. If you want to answer, I think it'd be great. Do you know a secret about a family friend, a close friend, that you have been entrusted that you will not ever share? If the answer is yes, count yourself amongst the most lucky, fortunate people on the planet. Denise Lowe's lots of secrets. Absolutely. Gossip is a sin, in my opinion. If you are entrusted with a secret and you do not tell, you are a very special being. You're not a fiend. You're a friend, because the R is reliable, the D is dependable. Number 1 rule in life: you want to be happier, healthier, and wealthier? Never gossip. Denise mentions, I maintain confidentiality with my business clients, and therefore it's easier to do the same with friends. That's true. So when you are trained, or you train yourself to be reverential, you hear that word? Reverential when it comes to someone else. Never gossip. You can't build a relationship of trust. So now we're going to go and open up the questions, but I'm going to ask Denise a question since she's been on the Fiery Lion. She loves it. So Denise, what is it that you do in your professional life that enables you to have confidentialities? Doctor, lawyer, financial advisor?
None of those.
None of those. So let's see. Is there anything else we can guess? Therapist?
Sort of.
Okay.
Sort
Are
of.
you going to tell us, Denise?
Sure, I will. I am a book coach and ghostwriter. I guide and direct people through the process of writing their own book, or I write the book for them. And in the process of doing that, people tell me a lot of things about their lives that are confidential. And they'll say, I don't want this in the book, but I want to tell you blah, 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 So
So first of all, Denise, thank you for sharing that, because you're not betraying any confidences by doing that. And as you saw, everybody, I was guessing the sort of usual suspects, and I didn't go to what you just mentioned. And it's a remarkably wonderful profession, and I'm sure that you've done it now for more than probably 70 people.
I probably, yeah.
Okay. So now we're opening to questions. Jack has a question. Jack in Wichita. So first of all, thank you, Denise. You see, somebody already said to you, we need to connect. Who is that person? It's iPhone 2. Is that you, Allie? If that's you, so just after this, just put in there and say people want to connect. So this is the genius of what we want to do with Winning Wednesdays. we do on the every other winning Wednesday, we do what it's called Smart Connect. And I urge you all to join those Smart Connects, because on the Smart Connect, it's specifically for people to have 7 minutes one-on-one. And then you talk and you meet. So put that in your daytime, listen to me. Put that in and be aware that we invite you every other week. We do this Winning Wednesdays with the 11 strategies, and we do every other week the Smart Connect. And people who've been in the Smart Connect, Robin will tell you, and other people, that it's really a wonderful, powerful, and pleasant, positive experience. Let me see here. Let's see. Jack has a question. Who to gracefully disengage when the relationship is one-sided? Okay. I think everybody here, I know everybody here on this call is over the age of 25. So therefore, everybody has gone through heartbreak and being rejected and lost love and, you know, all the things that happen between the ages of 16 and 25. And then we hopefully we mature. And then it happens again when from the ages of 25 to 45. So Jack is saying, who to gracefully disengage when the relationship is one-sided? So I'm going to share with you an answer, Jack, that I've used for myself.
Okay.
When I finally realized, and again, it takes time, that the relationship was one-sided. Notice it was, because it no longer is. When the relationship was one-sided, and the one-sided was not benefiting both parties, you hear this? I.e., I was feeling that I was being taken advantage of, or it was a drain for me. And when you get to that point, you wake up and you recognize the following. Denise, you're going to love this line. In life, Bonnie, you ready for this? In life, you're either a fountain or a drain. I told you like it.
You're right.
We live in a digital world, kids. So as an example, Jack, long-winded way of telling you what I want you to do.
Could you tell her? I'm just trying
When
to
I
save
was
time, or
growing up,
probably doesn't realize that.
we lived in a world called analog. What is analog? Well, we had something called a television set.
I bring her some stuff, and she said no.
In the back of
Maybe
our
she doesn't work.
television set,
Maybe she works out of the office or something.
ooh,
Oh.
Sharon, I think you're not muted.
I bet she doesn't work.
can
I
hear
bet
you.
she doesn't work there.
Sharon,
Probably home offices.
I think we need, yeah, okay. So in the back of the television set, it has something called tubes. It's hard to even describe it. I should do a video of this one day. He had these tubes. You pull out the tubes, and you do a test, and you find a tube that's not working. You pull it out. You go to the store, and you get a new tube, put it back in, and guess what? Television will work. That's called analog, right, Jack? In a digital world, things either work or they don't. In other words, if your television goes out, you're not going to replace it. It's a different world. It's a digital world. So the same thing happens in the world of humans. As I said, you are either a fountain or a drain. If you find for yourself a relationship where one of you is a fountain and the other is a drain, then you have to do two things. You hear this? You have to do things. You want to keep sanity. If you don't want to keep your sanity, that's your choice. If you want to keep sanity, you have to recognize who is the fountain, who's the drain. If both of you are fountains, that's great. I can tell you, that's a great relationship. Things happen that are exponentially good. If you're both drains, and that does happen, by the way, you find it mostly in addictive situations. Both are alcoholics or drugs, whatever it is. Those are both drains. That's a cause of death, literally, even while you're alive. If there's an imbalance where one is a drain and the other is a fountain, you have to admit who is the drain and who's the fountain. Once you do that, gracefully leave. And the way to gracefully leave is to just say, I'm busy. Eventually somebody might say, well, wait a minute, you don't have time for me anymore, dear friend. Say, the answer is no. You hear this? I've done it. Is it easy? Hello, it's called life. Isn't life fun? I don't think anybody over the age of 40 would say that life is easy. Life is engaging, it's demanding, it's intriguing, it's energizing. I don't think it's easy. Did I help you on that, Jack?
You did. That makes sense.
Thank you. We're here to make you some dollars. You want to be happier, healthier, wealthier. Hello, everyone. Remember to look for, find, and write down at the end of each day the positive experience moments that await each of us every day. Thank you, Stephen. That's a great piece of wisdom. I didn't say advice. Wisdom. Oh, Bonnie's really doing something of quite interesting. Are you trying to open a jar? So at the end of the day, write down 2 or 3 things that have brought benefit to you. And you ready for the next part? Here's what I'm going to make the corollary. Write down 2 or 3 things, if you can, I think everybody can, that brought benefit to others. Remember towards the beginning, we talked about the O word? Remember what the O word is? Others.
Well, you don't remember the conversation about
Others.
15 minutes ago
When you begin to think
Joyce by
about
mistake, and I-
others,
but I don't-
then life becomes better
No,
in
I
terms
apologize.
of
I
the
made a
ability
mistake.
to
It went to Joyce and not you.
acquire and be
Oh
a
my
friend.
God.
Okay, some more questions. I have a couple more things I want to share.
Oh, my
And then we're
goodness.
closing out our time together. Some more questions. Let me do
I thought it was
my
you, and then I
ask.
told you it was
So
Joyce.
the ask is, again, I urge everybody go to barryshore.com
I always missed
/
something.
ebook. You can avail yourself of one of these books.
Oh, I didn't. I
They're
thought I
no
did, and I
cost to
said it
you.
was-
They are transformational. In other words, don't just order it and get it. Use it. It will be helpful to you. The result, you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. The other thing is, please go to einsteincares.com, einsteincares.com, sign up for early access. It's to your advantage, to your advantage. That's all I care about, your advantage. I'm going to answer your question in just a moment, Denise. So my ask now is for the following. Our group is called Einstein Cares Community Group. It is a place of learning. It is a place of growth. Denise, is this your first time here?
Yes,
Are you loving it?
I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. I asked you, are you loving
Ah,
it?
I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. So the whole purpose of Einstein Cares Community Group is exactly what Denise said. I'm enjoying it. This is a place to find joy because it's a benefit to you. It's a lever for you to gain more insights. One small kernel will help. It will cause for you what we call a shift. And remember to keep that F in place so the other stuff happens. So here's what I urge everybody to do. Everybody knows Friends Unalignable, correct? Am I right, Joyce? I'm asking you to reach out to a minimum of 5 people unalignable. You hear this, everybody? And just say, hey, this is pretty cool. Barry Shore is a very enjoyable program. You should join it. Come to EinsteinCares.com. Einstein Cares Community Group. Join the group and you'll learn stuff. It's a lot of fun. Quote Denise, I'm enjoying it. So Denise, you want to go out and reach some friends? Reach out to 5 friends unalignable. You hear that, Roscoe? Robin, you doing this? Joyce, you doing this? Stephen? Hello?
I hear you,
Sharon?
Barry. I hear you, Barry.
Right? Reach out to 5 people that you know in line. Will say, join the Einstein Cares Community Group. You'll love it. It's beneficial. So let's go to the question that, thank you, Sonny. Here's Denise's question. Barry, what do you do when you still love and appreciate a friend, but your priorities and values have
Okay.
shifted and that friend doesn't fit your life as well? Do you all hear the question? Let me restate again. dear friend. And the nature of life is that one or both of you have moved into a different direction. Fair enough? Now, if you're talking about values, that's an easier question to address because values are what underlies our very existence. So if values do not coalesce, if they do not coordinate, then that is a reason to lessen the time together. You hear that? So values is different. Priorities, okay, now we can deal with something else. I'll illustrate with one of my dearest friends in the world growing up. Happened to be my cousin, my first cousin as well. I loved him dearly. We were closest of friends for the first 22 years of our lives. And we went in different directions. Never, ever would not take a call from him. And never, ever would I miss calling him on his birthday or once another time in a year just to say hello. But we weren't friends in that sense. I mean, friend, different language, different, like you say, priorities. So allow that drift away to be gentle. See, there's two ways to do things in life. There's what we call tear, right? Rip, tear, rip off of R.I.P., rest in peace. You want the tear, or what we call, in a very beautiful idea, removing a hair from a glass of milk. You hear that? Removing a hair from a glass of milk. That's gentle. That's loving. That's simple. But you still remove the hair from a glass of milk. So what I was able to do is just that. You lessen the time together. You hear that, Denise?
Mm.
You like it?
Yeah, okay.
And
I
let's take it-
understand that's practical, but you know,
Right. Yes. You asked a question. I'm here to
That-
share.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you. Okay. My volume is up, but I can barely hear. Steve can't hear me. Everybody else can hear me well. I'm sorry, Steve, but you can see my face and it's saying, I love you.
Can I add something to Denise's question, if I may?
Yes. Who's this?
This is Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, how are you?
Well, wait a minute. Since you asked me, and it wasn't just to buy your way. So she asked me, how are you? Let me answer how I am. You ready? I'm doing so well. If you put it in a bottle and sniff it, you'd be happy for a year.
I love it. I love it.
Joyce, how may I be of benefit?
No, I wanted to actually kind of like tail off of Denise's question
So
because
Pam, did you make this for me or is this from Joyce?
I have friends.
This permission
that-
state?
I
Oh,
don't know,
not you? Oh, okay.
Sharon. I have friends who we're really good friends, but we don't see each other. Years may go by and we don't see each other, but we'll talk on the phone
That's
every
probably why I'm confused.
And so
Okay.
because our lives are so busy.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just.
Two businesses, and another one of my friends is a business rep, and another one of my friends is retired. And so, because our schedules are so busy, we understand the demand that each of us has. And as adults, we don't expect you to call me every day and talk to me on the phone every day, because sometimes that's just not. It's impossible.
I want to jump in here, Joyce, because you've been here almost from the beginning. I believe you saw the video, right? So one of the things that we're discussing here, and it's really, remember, we're talking about bedrock items when it comes to business,
Correct.
because this affects how you interact with people in business. And everybody has three levels of business. You have people who supply you with something. I don't care what your business is, they supply you with something. And the people that you're offering your products and service to, customers, we want to call them. And then there's people that you work with in a parallel world. They're either employees or they're people that
Hey, Joyce,
in some way.
would you mind?
So the important thing here is a distinction between friendships and acquaintances.
Correct.
So for my purposes, I relish the ability to distinguish and to, as I said, if you can have two friends, two thumbs, those are friends. Those are people that are dependable, reliable. You may have 6 or 7 or 8 acquaintances, and they were friends at one time, maybe. And things shift and move, and that's the genius of life. But we're talking about friends. So friends, we always want to make time for friends. Everybody hear me? You always want to make time. Well, Steve can't hear me for some reason. You always want to make time for friends. You want to do the same thing for acquaintances, but understand that there is a hierarchy in life. Because as you said, Joyce, so wonderfully, hey, we're adults, we're busy. We have interesting, complicated, complex lives. And if you invest all your time in the myriad number of friends that you have in different relationships, guess what will happen? You'll be on the phone or on the computer all day long, just chatting. Okay, that was great for high school. That's not adulthood. We're moving into a situation when if you're an owner of a business, if you're running a business, if you are the head of something, and everybody is the head, by the way, I want you all to understand this. Denise, I'm going to pick on you again for something. When somebody comes to you and you're either the ghost writer or directing the ghost writer for a book, you're the head, not the person who you're writing the book about. That's a different relationship. And they're not your friend. They're your client, may become an acquaintance. Who knows? Could be a friend maybe someday, but that's not who it is. So we want to utilize our abilities as adults to be able to prioritize, as you mentioned, and create the value stream that we're in so that if you're, let's say, Joyce, you're in a church, I'm making it up. You're in a church. You may have a different relationship with 1 or 2 people in the church than you did, and you didn't know them when you were in high school. Okay, that's adulthood. And the same thing with your marriage partner. You may have each a friend or two that's part of the marriage or not. But it's really about the ability, and I have people that bristle when I tell them this, so I'm really going right out there and talking to you very openly. People don't like to do that sometimes because, yeah, but I've known this person for 32 years. I love them. Great. Okay. Very nice that you've been blessed with such a thing. But we're talking about deep personal friends. The deep. You hear what I'm saying? It's not contradicting anything of what you and Denise were talking about. I'm adding my spice. So that, because I want you to think about this. We're here to work together. This is a thinking session. This is not just Barry is talking about this thing, that's it. This is stuff that it's designed for the T word. Remember what T word stands for? What does T stand for? What does T stand for? Transformation. We're talking about the ability to have that shift in perspective. Small shift. Shift in perspective will be a benefit to you. We talked about a couple things today. Identifying fountain versus drain. You like that, Denise? About the idea of analog versus digital. You know the story of me and why I built a platform called Einstein Cares. The ability to give $1 billion to charity without costing any giver a penny because businesses love you and they welcome you and they're willing to share part of what their marketing budget is with you and the charity you care about. Wow. Isn't that wonderful? Talk about a benefit of life. And remember, you're here for one reason only. You care the most in the entire world about one person. You know, I'm going to end up on this very high note. I would like everybody, a big favor to me. favor to me. Put in the chat, I want you to put the name of your closest friend. Closest friend. Please, I ask of you, I urge you, please put the name in the chat of your closest friend. What's the sound for Jeopardy? Bing, bing, ding, 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 ding. Let me see. 1 second. Okay, Denise, Donna Marie, Michelle Evans, Leslie. That's 3 people. Come on. Tanya. Keep going. Name of your closest friend. Please, everybody. Robin, Bonnie, RJ, Allie, Corey. Sonny, come on. What's the name of your closest friend? Bonnie, what's the name of your closest friend? Roscoe.
I put mine in
Henry?
there, but it keeps direct messaging to you, Denise. So it's Cindy for me. It's Robin. Sorry. I don't know how I did that, but it's doing that. So
Okay.
I put mine in there as well. It keeps going to Denise. I'm sorry.
Okay. Kenny, keep going. I want to see some other people. And then we'll put in there. Ready? Come on. Come on, a couple more people, and then I'll.
To change it in the chat, all you do is hit Denise's name at the bottom and move it to group chat and it'll fix it for y'all.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. That was helpful. Okay. One more,
Okay,
Come
so
on,
what
one or
happened is
two
I
more.
sent,
and then
I
we'll close
sent
it up.
a copy to you and a copy to Joyce.
Okay.
yes.
Here we go. So I'm going to tell
Or
everybody.
she said it, did you make a copy? Did you
RJ
send
said
Pam a copy
Rachel.
or am I?
Okay. So here we go. Everybody,
Okay, good.
let me tell you what no one put in here for the name of your closest friend.
Yourself?
Thank you, Denise.
Good job.
Busted. I didn't do it either.
My dear, wonderful, loving people on this call
Responded to her and then I
who I
forwarded to
truly
you,
care about,
to Kim.
or I wouldn't be
So I said, I'm
investing
not in
my
the office
time.
now, but I'll take care of it. She wants to.
I want you to consider
But it was accounting, there was something about
that your
accounting that
closest
needs to be
friend
built, and she wants me to do
is
a
you.
reorder. So there's 2 things on there.
When I first heard that 57 years ago,
Okay.
I can tell you something. You ready for this? I'm going to tell you anyway, whether you're ready or not. I cried
And you
I
could confirm that
cried.
was made.
because that was not my answer, because it wasn't true at the time. When your foundation, because if your values don't align with yourself, Denise, if your priorities are not with yourself, if you're not in harmony with yourself, right, Jack? We've talked about this. Then it's really difficult, if not impossible, to build the kind of friendships we're talking about. The thumbs. 2 thumbs up, kids. So if I ask you again, if we do another one of these, who's your best friend? I'm urging you all to consider that this moment was worth the entire time together. Remember, it's talking about the T, transformational. Is that maybe because of your history and where you are at emotionally? Quite possibly. I've been through stuff, as they say. Stuff.
I'm just asking in general, you might look at somebody else as your best friend instead of yourself because of what you're trying to go through and heal from, maybe. Is that possible?
Certainly possible. I would share with you, and again, I urge you to get one of my books. Get The Joy of Living. It's yours, available. Get it, read it. It has a lot of my personal stories. You can go to barryshow.com. When I told you the story about me being paralyzed, I was a quad. I mean, that's kind of stuff. Well, I've had other stuff happen through my life. I'm 75 chronologically. I've been through stuff. Yes, oftentimes, and I'm being very
Attachment on that email
blunt
she
and
sent to
direct.
Joyce?
Oftentimes when there's another involved who is your best friend, they become, how should we say it? Not just an anchor for you, but they become almost somebody else that you depend upon to help you. And therefore you're not independent of yourself. So the relationship is not the ideal that you really want for yourself. It may be that it comes out okay after a period of
We can
time.
afford it with
You hear
it,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
absolutely.
That you don't want to be clingy and needing that. Oh, I need you. I need to hear. You want to be your own best friend. By the way, it takes time. It takes time investing in you. It takes time thinking about you. Denise, I'm going to share with you an idea that I don't know if everybody ever mentioned this before in your world of ghostwriting and such like that. And I think it should be done. Be your own ghostwriter. Write the Denise Michaels story. You're your own ghostwriter. Throwing out as an idea, just thought of it now. But to go to your point, Ally,
I
it's,
saw the accounting here, I was
you
thinking. of
really
you.
want to be your own best
Oh my
friend.
gosh.
You wanna
I'm actually,
one moment, Denise, let me just say, you want to
Okay.
be able to invest time with yourself and enjoy it. To revel in it. Because people think of this word A-L-O-N-E. How do most people in the world pronounce A-L-O-N-E?
Got one in Daniel.
alone.
They mispronounce it. It's not alone.
They should get one
It's
more.
all one. Okay. Now,
That's great, Barry.
Okay. So,
That is.
Denise, you have a point you want to make? Mention?
Well, I mean, you said be your own ghostwriter, and I have a book coming out next week about an aspect of my life, so anyway,
Coming out about what?
about an aspect of my life.
Oh, very good. Very good.
So,
Okay. Well, first of all, I
Yeah, I
trust that
did. Now I got,
everybody
now
found
the
this
reorder
session to
form, I
be
don't even
of
have to print, I
benefit
just
today.
read it. Well, I guess I do
Remember,
have to
for
print.
your
Okay.
benefit, go to barryshore.com/ebook. Order a book. It's yours for no cost. Don't just order it, use it. It's transformational, the T word. Please, for your benefit, go to einsteincares.com, sign up for early access. As a favor to me, for me, I ask stands for always seek kindness. I ask you to reach out to 5 people you know in Alignable. Say, join the Einstein Cares community group because it's great. Barry Shore is a lot of fun. It's enjoyable and you'll learn something. And people will start coming more. We have, God willing, almost 1,000 people, and we want to have 10,000 people by the end of the year. So reach out to 5 people and tell them to do it. You hear that, Joyce? Because they listen to you. People respect you. So do that. So here's how we complete our calls if you've not been on before. Those who've been on, Robin, you know this. We do a group hug. Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. On the count of 3. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everybody. Make it a great one. I'm going to play the music as we go out. How do you like that? Let me see where it is. Oh, come on, come on. Come on, Mr. Shore. There you go. I think. Bye, everybody. Bye, Sharon.